Good morning, folks. Here we are again, 4 months on from our last Hull City flight out of Humberside Airport to Turkey. This time the destination is not Antalya, despite what the departures information says here at the airport. We are actually flying to Istanbul for the start of Hull City's pre-season trip. A very different backdrop, of course, as we head out this morning compared to when we flew out in March. Of course, that time, City were right in the thick of the playoff race. It was hoped that trip would be a big kick forward to help Liam Rosenior's team get prepared for the playoffs. Ultimately, they fell short, of course, losing on the final day at Plymouth. It's been all change at the MKM Stadium since Liam Rosenior and his coaching staff, bar Andy Dawson, have gone. Tim Volter has come in, so he will be taking the team to Turkey. Lots of players, as you well know, have moved on. The big question over the next 10 days or so is what more players will leave, what players will come in. We're still expecting 2 arrivals this week. The club are working hard to push that through. We know, of course, that Jayden Philogene and Jacob Greaves are on the cusp of a move to Ipswich Town. There is interest in 1 or 2 other players as well. We know Ryan Longman, we know Jason Lakilo. We reported on Tuesday that Jean-Michel Seri was attracting interest from Saudi Arabia, and it's my understanding there are 1 or 2 other players that fringe players that may yet receive offers. So all the talk is so much up in the air as we fly out to Istanbul. So it's going to be really fascinating ahead of that first game on Saturday at the training ground in Riva. We will report from there on Thursday when we get our first look at training, and we hear from Tim Volter for the first time since his inaugural press conference. So we will be back in touch a little bit later on. Heading out finally outside of Humberside Airport, ready to board the Hull City aircraft XC1904. About 4 hours or so to Istanbul, and we will touch down again with you when we get there. Here we are, touching down in Turkey 3.5 hours later. Good evening from a very, very hot Istanbul. We've all made it across on what was a decent flight on the Hull City aircraft from Humberside into Istanbul. I guess the big story of the day here is that there was no Jayden Philogene or Jacob Greaves on that flight out of Humberside this morning. There was, however, Ryan Giles. We know there's strong interest from Middlesbrough. Perhaps a surprise that he has made the journey out as those talks are ongoing. I guess we'll see what happens. 2 players that weren't on the flight that will meet us over here. Abdoush Omer, he was given extended time off, having been part of the Turkey squad before Euro 2024. And Oscar Estepinen, recalled from Bahia in Brazil. Both players will meet the rest of the squad at Riva. Transfer news has emerged this afternoon. City are in talks with West Brom over a move for midfielder Okay Yokushlu. I think he's played 88 times in 2 seasons for Albion. 44 of those appearances came last season in the Championship. A big part of the Turkey squad out in Germany at Euro 2024. So one to watch over the next few days. That's it from here tonight. We will be speaking at length to Tim Volter for the first time since his inaugural press conference at Riva tomorrow. We will get our first look at City in training tomorrow, and we will report back